Hi, thanks for watching. This is a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By understanding how the program works, we can increase the traffic to your site by getting it on the first page. So that way you're the first click and the first call whenever anybody's searching. So I've got your website pulled up here, and it looks like it's really easy to navigate. We've got all the information in the drop-down menus right at the top. As far as Google is concerned, when it's going to look to rank a website, it's going to do so based on two factors. The first is the content. So what's going to come in and do is count all the words and text on the page. It's basically looking for about a minimum of 1,000 to 1,500 words because it assumes that the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are, and the more likely it is to recommend you. Now, while it's counting the words, it's also looking for keywords, which would be anything that a customer would type into Google search, which is usually going to be a service that you provide and then the areas that you provide it in. Now, this is where the number of words particularly comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of these keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. Now, the second way you're going to get your page ranked is by what's called the authority, which is basically a popularity contest. The two ways to build authority are through one, getting citations. Now, a citation is anytime your name, address, and phone number appear in an online directory. Now, those are going to be things like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. Most of these directories are free. It just takes some time to find them, register your business information, and input it as exactly as it's shown in Google. Now, the second way to build authority is through what's called backlinks, which is when another website links or refers back to yours. It basically acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. It's a similar concept to a customer review. If you had 1,000 five-star customer reviews, a new customer would think pretty highly of your business. Google is doing the same thing and just using other websites to create this determination. See how this affects where your position is on the search. If we go back, the first thing that pops up is what's called the map pack. You are showing in it because this is your local area, which is good. Taking a look at the rest of the competition, I have a feeling it's because you have the most amount of reviews and you also have an exact match keyword in your description that's pushing this up. The only thing you have to watch out for is some of these other companies bumping you out of this top spot. So in order to maintain this position, you want to make sure you're completely filling out what's called your Google Business Profile. It's right inside the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. Including all the services you offer in the area and your hours of operation. What you want to do is take photos that are geotagged inside of your service area and upload those as well as posts to your profile on a regular basis. And then you want to get as many of those citations, your name, address, and phone number. You want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. Now, underneath that, this section is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust that Google has in your website, the higher up in the position that you're going to rank. So to demonstrate this, I took your business website and I put it into this tool that I have, and it shows me all the things that Google finds when it crawls your site for both its content and its authority. Now, just to define these terms, if the local news station did an article on their website that said the top 10 best energy efficiency companies in Western New York, and in that article there was a link that the reader could click and it would bring them directly to your website, that would be considered one referring site or one referring domain. Now, just something to note here is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these, it's also the quality. Then we need to make sure that they're relative to your profession. So for instance, if we had a pizza place linking back to your site, Google understands that you're not making pizzas, so that wouldn't add any relevancy or any power to your site, even though it would add a number. So this is where we want to seek out the most relative, either blog sites, news and newspaper, any kind of directory listings for construction and home efficiency websites to get listed and get mentioned in there. Now, just to put some context, I've also taken the top organic listing, taken this company and put them into the same tool. And what you can actually see is their website has less authority, yet they're on the first page and you're only on the third. So what I'm suspecting is that there's a problem here in what's called the content. So these are all the keywords that are being typed into Google search that Google is finding on your website. And this is also the volume, the number of times per month that they're being searched. And then it shows you your position, what number in the Google search results you're at. So my suspicion here is that on your website, you're not getting all the highest volume keywords that are being picked up on the site due to the lack of the amount of content that you have on here. So for instance, I noticed that Empower New York is a pretty big one. So that's actually being searched 350 times a month. So now right now you're in the 27th position, which puts you somewhere in like the bottom of the third or the top of the fourth, like we had seen earlier. If you were on the first page, 350 people a month would be seeing your website. Now we use a pretty conservative metric here, and we say only 10% of those people that actually see your site will click in and engage with you. So that's 35 potential new customers. And then I don't know what the conversion rate is for your particular field, but if we're using even more conservative, let's say only 10% of those actually become customers. So now we're talking 4 new customers every month just off of one keyword. So this is where we would do some research to find all the highest volume keywords, making sure that those are included on your site and then optimized so that way Google can pick them up in search. And then once you get on the first page, you'll be getting all these clicks and calls, which will help drive some sales and add some revenue for you at the end of the year. Now, I hope this information was helpful and it allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go into any further details. We could also talk about your goals as a business, and I can do some research to find out what it would take for you to reach those. And I love getting feedback as well, just to find out if information like this was useful for you. So please do let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I hope this helps.